Hello YouTube, my name is Paul, hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to another Amiga Power Top 100 video. From issue 64, August 1996, the definitive Top 100 you would assume. Bearing in mind it was the last one Amiga Power magazine put out, where its own staff voted on what was the best 100 games. Loads of games here that I'm familiar with, loads of games I'm not. I usually just go through the magazines in 10 episodes, go through 10 at a time, let you guys know which ones I'd keep in my top 100, which ones I wouldn't. Obviously, if you guys have got an opinion yourselves, please leave a comment in the comment section below. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different types of genres here. We've got arcade conversions, strategy games, simulators, and other stuff. But yeah, it's a good bunch of games, I've got to say, as we start going into the second half of this Amiga Power Top 100. Yeah, first up, number 50, we got an exciting to look at and exciting to play. And just how many other two-player platform games can you name that arm the admittedly unfortunate bandana-wearing heroes with chainsaws and firebombs? Exactly, a re-entry into the top 100 for Yo Joe. But yeah, not one I'm familiar with at all. Not a game you can easily pick up as well, so I can't imagine it done particularly well. In fact, did this actually get a UK release? I'm pretty sure it must have done to be an Amiga Power magazine. I don't know. First impressions though, graphically fantastic, got great music, great presentation. I played the game for only about half an hour in single player. In terms of playability wise, it was nothing special from what I experienced, but don't forget I only played it for an hour or so. So yeah, this game probably has a hell of a lot more to offer, especially in two-player mode. So yes, that is Yo Joe. In a 49, we've got a game I'm very familiar with, one I owned back in the day. I liked it that much, I even done a spotlight video for it. Merciless mechanical death and gratuitous mémage, I've never heard that word before, has a name, and that name is Walker, a time-travelling robotic machine spitting death. From Twin Cannons, on 1200 the carnage is supplemented by some incredible radio chatter too. It was quite impressive, wasn't it, I've got to say. Walker, again graphically a very stunning game, especially on the old A500 hardware really, because that's what it was made for. The A1200 just had the extra sound enhancements, but yeah, brilliant music, nice little intro sequence here, lots of blood and guts, speech, and that's great. The atmosphere is brilliant. I just found the game personally to be quite, I suppose after a while, quite monotonous. You're doing pretty much the same thing right throughout the entire game really. It just becomes more and more intense. Now you can play it on easy mode, but easy mode I believe is only half the game. You play it on standard mode, I think I can get as far as level 2. And I really struggle with it, I've got to say. But yeah, atmospherically it is a bloody brilliant game. So next up we got a racing game, an arcade favourite. Up 5 places. It's actually featured in the very first issue 0 version of Amiga Power Top 100. Caption is a racing game on a motorbike. And what do we have? Super Hang-On. It's incredible that it still makes the top 100 listing in at number 48. But when it came out, it was probably the best racing game available on the Commodore Amiga. Probably back end of 87, early 88. I'm not sure really, but when I play it today, it kind of still holds up, but it's not as good as some of the games that got released after it. And from what I can see, there's quite a few racing games that probably would nudge that out of my personal top 100. But it is really good though. It's a really faithful conversion of the arcade. Even uses some sample music, I believe, or does it? Or was that the ST version? At the beginning, when the game loads up. But yeah, it's a very good game. Don't get me wrong, it's very competent, but it probably wouldn't make my own personal top 100. But yeah, Super Hang-On. So at number 47 we've got a PD game. Now, one thing I've realised whilst going through this Amiga Power magazine is there are a lot of PD games which make some fantastic efforts at recreating the arcade games on our Amigas. Personally for me, this one in particular isn't one of my favourite arcade games, not one I'm overly familiar with, but I have played it before on many different machines. This one's down 24 places, Arcade Perfect Defender, from the Southern Hemisphere lads that brought you Super Skid Marks and Roadkill. Like I said, if you are a fan of Defender, you probably would love this conversion of it. Unfortunately for me, it wouldn't make my top 100. It's a competent shooter, don't get me wrong. Fast and frantic, probably a bit too fast and frantic for me. I'm quite a methodical guy, I like to take my time with stuff. But that, yeah, throws you in at the deep end quite quickly. I've played many Defender clones over the years on many different formats. And to be fair, not really my cup of tea. But yeah, if you like that sort of challenging shoot 'em up, then you're going to love that conversion of the game. So there. So at number 46 then is a puzzler, a game that I wasn't familiar with until I started collecting games for the Amiga. This game itself is actually gone up again, up 31 places. A simple yet challenging puzzle game where you have to match the active side of the screen with the inactive half by changing the colours of gems. The catch, of course there's a catch, otherwise it would be easy, wouldn't it? At least the cute manga girls love you though. Which they do. I'm, again, not very good at this game. They're probably really good if you get the hang of it. That is Gem X. Again, another game that didn't sell particularly well. But yeah, it literally is exactly what the caption said. You've got to get used to the colours though, because they kind of go in sequence. Some gems explode, some gems just change colour. But trying to match it with the opposite table isn't as easy as you think. It certainly wasn't as easy as I think. But will this again make my top 100? Probably not. Again, graphically it's very capable. Brilliant music at the beginning. I'm pretty sure those manga girls strip off. I think that might be one of the reasons why this game could be quite desirable. But yeah, again, if you've played this game before and think it's great, leave a comment below. But for me, again, like Yojo, I've not really played it enough to really appreciate the game. So again, this one will probably be on the fence.
Good luck! Oh no! Great! I'm sorry. I love you.
So, number 45 then is a football management game. One of my favourite genres, believe it or not. I used to love Championship Manager. I used to play Premier Manager a bit. I used to love some of the standalone titles, but this one is not familiar with to me at all. This one's actually down 7 places. At last, a footy manny sim with a plant on your desk that needs watering. More importantly, it leaves lots to your imagination and doesn't try to blind you with tedious stats. Now again, can't really comment too much on this one. This is the CD32 version because I've never played it before on floppy disk. Again, you don't see this one very often, probably because it didn't sell very many, even on floppy disk. And that is Super League Manager. Again, it looks a bit like some of the standalone football arcade games from Audiogenic. So I'm not sure if it's just a fusion between their arcadey games with a different sort of management element added to it. A bit like, I don't know, games like Player Manager. You could play Kickoff basically, can't you? With management features added on. A bit like, I don't know, there's quite a few games like that, isn't there? But again, it could be another brilliant football management game. I just never really spent a lot of time playing it. I did manage to water the plant though, answer the phone and do stuff like that. But yeah, again, if you've got really good memories of that game, again, let us know. In a 44 then we've got a top-down driving game. Personally, my favourite on the Amiga. I absolutely love this game, loads of atmosphere. It was phenomenal. But the problem with the Amiga version that I played, you had to use the spacebar to activate special weapons. But yeah, not quite sure what the first part of the caption says here, but it says Road Q. Not sure what that even means. That's supposed to be something that's said in the intro of the game. Draws the Aussie voiceover as a beautifully rendered motion blurred intro unfolds, a tale of powerful cars, rockets, minefields and decapitated drivers. The top-down racing game features brilliantly constructed courses, complete with shortcuts, and bonus points for shooting other cars. Get the jackpot, get the super jackpot. And that game is none other than Roadkill. So the one they recommend is the CD32 version. As I said earlier, you have to reach around to push space to fire rockets, which is a pain in the arse when you're playing with a joystick on the standard machine, because you tend to veer off the road by doing that. But this one, having the extra button, will probably make a world of difference in this game. But yeah, it's got phenomenal atmosphere. I love this game, I've got to say. When the music gets going, when the noise gets going, brilliant. Especially if you hooked it up to a stereo or something, absolutely fantastic. Certainly would be in my top 100. As like I said, my favourite top-down racing game on the Amiga. And again, never tried it on CD32, but by the sounds of it, it's even better still. Yeah, that's Roadkill.
Rockets. Armor. Destroy him. Armor. Rockets. Rockets.
More public domain in at 43. It just says it's Asteroids, and it is. It's almost arcade perfect rendition of Asteroids. I've only ever really experienced Asteroids on an Atari. I've seen it in action on the arcades, or in the arcades. But this one, I've got to say, looks just like the arcade version. I'm not very good at Asteroids apart from on the Atari. We just stay in one place and just rotate your ship. But this one, unfortunately, it makes you move. It makes it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, as an arcade purist, again, probably one of those games you will love and probably would have it in your own top 100s. I would say it's equally as good looking as Defender. Again, would it be in my top 100? Probably not. Probably not. Again, it's not one of my favourite types of games. Yeah, yeah. It's a difficult one because it's very good in the fact that it is actually like the arcade. Yeah, just not really for me. what we have next then is a game where you go and storm embassies. Again, not familiar with this one. I do have it on the CD32 and not on the Amiga on floppy disk. This is 42, or number 42, which is actually down. No, it's not. It's up one place. Refining the Laser Squad game to perfection. You're given a squad of SAS-type hardmen and various hostage rescue missions based in embassies, jungles, and cruise liners. Success depends on how good tactics and sensible use of the action points, and not, for example, pulling the pin out of a grenade only to find that you haven't got enough action points to throw it, as it happened to Cam once. Fizz boom. Again, I really like the UFO games. Now, if this is anything like that, which it looks like from what I've seen of it, because I've never played this game before, I probably would really like it. So therefore, it probably would end up in my top 100. But depending on, like I said, how it plays. From what I've seen of it, it looks really good. And that Saber Team, the one they recommend is on the A1200, not the CD32. So maybe the A1200 is installable, less loading times, etc, etc. I don't know. But yeah, again, not one you see very often. You see it more for the OCS machines than you do for the enhanced machines. But from looking at what I've seen of it, you start off the first time, I believe, in an embassy, based on kind of the Iranian embassy raid of 82, 81, whatever it was. But yeah, it looks great. It looks like you're playing a game like UFO Enemy Unknown or Laser Squad, because that's kind of a similar sort of game, isn't it? But yeah, if it's as good as they say it is, I probably would put that in my top 100, because those sorts of games I do really enjoy playing. But yeah, Saber Team.
Terrorists have taken control of the American embassy in London. They have already killed one diplomat. Your team must rescue the remaining hostages.
Last but not least, probably my favourite flight sim on the Amiga. My second favourite flight sim is F-29 Retaliator, but this one, yeah. What did Amiga Power say about it? Huge scale helicopter flight sim featuring loads of advances over anything seen before. The terrain undulates up and down, allowing you to fly through deep river valleys, and the wingman system lets you send your men on a really tough mission, leaving you to complete the turkey shoots and grab all the glory. But yeah, again, I've not played this for bloody years. Gunship 2000, I don't have it unfortunately on floppy disk, but I do have it on CD32. It doesn't recommend playing the 12, well, it's recommended the standard version over the AGA versions. But yeah, it's a brilliant game, it really is. From what I remember of it anyway. You literally have your missions, you select your waypoints, select your weapons, the usual stuff you normally did for a flight sim. But having the helicopter, at least with the plane fly sims, when you played them, they looked slow, didn't they? Because the planes are supposed to be doing 1,000 miles an hour and the screen barely moves. With the helicopter though, it actually seems okay and plays pretty well. I used to play this on my 1200, but I only had the OCS version, so it played even faster. But to be fair, it's got brilliant presentation, great use of sound. I used to love this game. I didn't play it on the most complex of settings, because otherwise it gets a bit too serious. But I try and find a balance between kind of an arcadey feel about it and a strategy feel, simulation feel about it. Yeah, it's probably quite important. So for those of you who really like complicated stuff, you like that. For those like myself who likes a bit of arcade action, you'll probably like it as well. But yeah, personally for me, it certainly would be in my top 100 because it's a brilliant flight simulator. That's Gunship 2000 and Game 41. That takes us to the end of this episode. So thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you very much, as usual, for subscribing. I'll see you guys again real soon. Take care, and bye for now.
Target left. Target front. Target front. Target front. Target right. Target front. Target front. Target front.